Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I have a vowel-heavy rack. I'm close to eupepsia. I would need a P for that to play. No P provided. War takes an E after it. And my P can go above the A. But is this a rack to play through? I can only use one of the W's if I place the P above the A. That means I'm likely to be with a vowel-heavy rack leave. I've got EAU, which would leave a decent rack leave. So I think this may be better than changing. EAU for 12. Alternatively, EAU for 15. That's better. O takes an S after it, and I've got an S. I draw all vowels. Onto an R, I would have sleepier. But I don't think there's a 7 with this rack. I don't think peelies or leapies is good. Or any other combination of these tiles. Not many floaters to consider. Now, does the V help? I don't think so. I've got pelvis, but that's not a bingo and not even a double-double. V takes nothing in front of it, so I can't play in row H. So how to sort this rack out? Well, I've got leap above war, keeping IES, that's not great. It would be much better to play PEE or LEE in terms of rack leave. I haven't given up on there being a bingo here, I just haven't seen one yet. But I am starting to give up now. So what I could do is play eel. 15 points. Doesn't feel great, especially placing the E underneath this premium square, but that distracts my opponent's attention away from row K. And I do like this rack leave. But maybe I should be using the IV'd hook. I could play PIE, 17 points. But that's creating an easy double word square. So I think I'll go back to eel for 15. Now this looks close to something useful. I'm not seeing a 7. I've got the LY ending, I've got the ILY ending. If my opponent doesn't take this spot, my Y can go above the E. I can't think of any floaters which would give me an 8-letter bingo, but I suspect there are some. I've still got the I for IV'd. But I can't see anything great in column 4 which uses that. I have Piney in row F, which gets the P and the Y tripled. Now, I think I have supinely, but the U is not quite in the right position for that. Okay, 27 for my opponent. Fee takes nothing in front. I'm naturally drawn to this E for placing my Y. Ref takes a T in front. So I do have Piney across here, 32 points, a good score, wrecks the rack, provides easy scoring spots for my opponent. So is there something better to do? If I played Ply, then a rack leave of EINS would be pretty good. So I have Pile here for 18. Wow, and it's 32 for Piney, but this is a much better rack leave. What about playing Piney down here? 35 points, and it's not opening up the triple word square. I'm going with this. Great, I draw the first blank. Not so great in terms of vowel-consonant balance. I have Zep and Peel, and also Zep through the E of Piney, so I'm certainly playing with this rack, as opposed to changing. Do I have anything better? I've got Prez, and it would be nice to play off 3 of these consonants rather than 2, in terms of increasing the likelihood of having a balanced rack next turn, and a balanced rack should increase my chances of having a bingo. So I have Zap for 34, and it's not a bad rack leave after that. And Prez for 30, that's a better rack leave. Am I missing something which is better than either? Well, not that I can see. So Prez for 30. I have uncurls. Nowhere for that, I don't think. And not too many floaters on this board. But my opponent's got to play somewhere. I've got the floating P. Glad takes an E and an S and a Y. If I use the U as a floater, then I am going to have to hook Glad for a bingo. There are 7-letter lanes available on this board, and if I have a 7-letter bingo with this rack, the blank is likely to be a vowel. So I can't see anything with the blank as an A. Let me immediately see if uncurls plays, and it doesn't, following my opponent's move. However, he has provided a floating E, which could be useful. So what about the blank as an E? Not seeing anything there. Blank as an I. Well, I would have pin curls through the P if it were placed differently. Blank as an O. Well, consular through an A. Blank as a U. Uncurls. Does that really not play? I don't think it does. I don't want to give up on this rack. It feels like there is something here. What about the blank as a Y? I would have the LY ending. So, do I have anything beginning with E? Not that I can see. Okay, I am starting to give up on this rack. 13 minutes left. So, what's the best way of sorting this rack out? Well, I could play curls. 27 points. But the S is quite useful. So what about a play above ref? I don't want to keep L, N and R, and I don't really want to keep L and N. Well, this is surprisingly tricky. I think, well, I was going to say in curls, but that doesn't play. So curls for 27. Pretty good. I draw vowels. I've got the Q-U combination. So even if I don't have a bingo this turn, I should have a decent Q play. But is there a bingo? Let me run through the alphabet while my opponent is thinking. And I'm considering 7s and 8s, but with no specific floater in mind. Well, there could be an 8 here, antiqued. Quadding through a D. Can't see anything there, but it looks close. Okay, so not very much on offer there. Great, just 24 points for my opponent, and one of the advantages of curls was that it didn't offer an awful lot. Now, I could play quad or quid, but both of those have front hooks, which could be very valuable for my opponent. My lead is only 6 points. I could play quare, keeping DN blank. I can't see anything beginning with E. 11 minutes on my clock. Anything through the U isn't going to score very much. Just wondering if I have anything else in row E which doesn't take a front hook. Don't think so. And a few floaters should help me, especially vowels, given I'm retaining none. So quare for 28. Horrendous pickup. Really, really bad. It's usually a good thing to have the X, but not when you're light on vowels and you've got a triplicate N. And my lead is only 34 points. I'd like to play off 2 N's and an X, but I think that's going to be tricky. Just wondering whether there was a better play than quare last move, but I think that's just a natural thought when you have a bad rack. Okay, nice bingo by my opponent. And he has provided a spot for me for Ox. But that keeps 3 N's. and blocks the board. However, it does score a lot, and the blocking will stop my opponent from zooming. So, Ox for 52. Is there anywhere I can get 30 odd points for Nox? I don't think so, so I'm going with this. I draw another N, inevitably, but I've also drawn a vowel, which is good. So I certainly need to play off 2 N's. And the question is whether I can score enough to do that without changing being better, rather. I have Annex, which is still available, and only 25 points for my opponent, which is good. So Annex for 24. Can I draw the final N? No, I don't. I was going to say I have Granny through the A, but that doesn't quite fit. But this looks very close to a bingo. I've got Durning. Not sure there's anywhere for that. So the U is probably the most likely floater to assist. I don't think Gunnard is good. 9 minutes on my clock, 31 tiles to come. So let's see what I can see. And having GN, you're naturally drawn to ING words. But Durning's the only one of them that I can see. And that doesn't play. In which case the G becomes a bit of a problem tile. That is the Durning rack. And Diarning is also good, but that has the same problem as Grannied in that it doesn't quite work. Well, that looks close to a grand word. Great, only 22 points for my opponent. I don't think I should spend too long looking for a bingo. I think there could well not be one. Drag on A. Through the A again doesn't quite work. Androgen, it's anagram. Doesn't work. There could be something here, but I'm mindful of the time. So, not seen anything which goes so far. So what to do? I've got the un prefix. I've got the under prefix. Am I missing any bingo lanes? O takes an S and an X. Z's takes nothing. I've got the E of Z's. So I've got the N. I have N ranged. Fantastic. I'm not looking for a better bingo. I spent long enough. I'm short on time. N ranged 61. Not too bad. I have a 50-point lead. This isn't a bingo-y rack, but it's a good scoring rack. I have 2 high-scoring tiles, and I've got 3 vowels, and those do go well with K and F. So I'm really just looking for a good score here. Enraged hasn't given too much away, apart from this blank underneath the blank A underneath the double letter square. So that could be punished with a J quite strongly. Anything else is going to be fairly mild. Now, can I use that spot? With my rack, I can't really see a way of getting a K or an F on there and playing down, but I could play across, something like KO. Only 20 points, no, not great. Sold takes a bunch of hooks, but it's not in a position to score well. What about in and around square? Well, neither of my scoring tiles goes next to the U. I could play Kif and Fey, but that's keeping a lot of vowels. Let me look at the remaining vowel situation. No E's left. Great. 9 vowels out of 28 tiles. It's a vowel light bag. Okay, so a play of Kif might be a good thing to do. And it scores 30 points, which is also relevant. 30 points, much better than 20 points. Now the end of N ranged also looks useful. What I don't have is words which play off the F and the K, and the reason that would be good would be simply to increase score. So I could play took, but again that's back down to the low 20s. It would be much nicer to score over 30 points, especially as my lead is only 50 points. I'd like to stretch my lead such that I can survive a bingo. There's still a blank out there. Now Treff takes a T in front. The best I can see there is F'd. Souties was a nice bingo for my opponent. Quite high probability, but an unusual word and can be difficult to see. I have oof on my rack and foo. Great, only 14 points for my opponent. He's taken my Kif spot. He's played off 2 vowels, so he could be pretty light on vowels. And no, oh, this is interesting, there's no S's left, so I have the final S. So I could do something like this. Foot, knowing that my opponent can't use his blank as an S and bingo in column 15, but I can use my S with the K to play down here, and there are no Y's for footy left. 25 points is a decent score. I'm burning 2 vowels, so I could well draw 4 consonants, but I've got a vowel. And I'm not providing any of these vowels for my opponent. What I am doing, though, is leaving this spot above the A. So I've got fake. And that's 42 points. That, I think, is enough to justify playing it. I'm keeping 2 vowels, which is a good thing given the vowel drought. The E is useful for my opponent. But I think it's important to take out this spot. I'm going with this. That's not bad. That looks fairly balanced. The C and the H are good scoring tiles, and they have synergy. There could be a bingo here, something like slooch. But I'm not seeing it. Close to Selkooth through the E. I would need one of my O's to be a U for that. 7 vowels out of 22 tiles plus the blank. And there is a good bingo lane in column 14, and the E of fake is good. But I do now have an 80-point lead. I have cloth on my rack. In range doesn't take anything after it. Maybe a play over the top of N range would take out column 14. But a column 14 bingo should provide opportunities in column 15, so it's not essential to kill that. I think the important thing is to keep scoring. And I've still got the S, so I could try that thing again, where I play a 4-letter play. keeping the S back to play in column 15. So I could play Holt, 25 points. Worth considering. I have School on my rack. That could play underneath O. 26 points and playing off 6 tiles. Good, with a blank unseen. And it would expedite the end of the game. Okay, opponent blocks that with bow, which does take an O at the end. So I could do this. School for 43, which is a good score. Playing off a lot of tiles is good. I'm killing column 14. I'm disrupting row O. There is a risk I'll have no vowels, but I'm happy to take that risk. 43 points is a good score. Well, that is the worst possible outcome. 7 consonants. School takes an E, S, and a Y at the end. So my opponent would need to use his blank there. Now, column 5 is available for a... Okay, that's good. Only 58 points. I've still got a 43-point lead. Opponent's emptied the bag. I can see what he's got. He's got the J. I can't see any massive J spots, but I haven't looked rigorously. But this rack is all I've got. I don't have anything which goes after double A. 5 minutes on my clock. I'm thinking about a 2-letter play down here. So I could play Get. 20 points, which is probably all I can hope for with only consonants and on this board. But can I get 20 points elsewhere and maybe play off another tile? I'm not going to be able to go out in 2 with this rack. Am I sure my opponent doesn't have a massive J play? He has Adji on his rack and Jai. Can't see anywhere for that. He's got Jane for 22. This could be close. This could be close. So apart from the Get spot, wow, there's really very little else on offer. My opponent can't use this spot. Onto an R, I would have B double R. Nothing goes after Geo that I've got. Okay, I think this is going to be close, in which case I need my thinking time. So I'm going to play Git. Is that the best? I think so. Get for 20. And my opponent's going to catch me on count back for maybe 10 points, so this is going to be close. I'm going to struggle to play off many tiles at all next turn. 45 points. Wow. My lead is now just 18 points. My opponent's got AIA on his rack. However, opponent has provided somewhere for me to dump some tiles. 14 points for Brim. I think that's going to be enough. My lead is 32 points. My opponent will get 6 on countback. He needs to score about 20. Well, let me work this out. 26, 32. 32 take away 6 is 26. He needs 26 to draw with AIA. That may be possible, but I'm not seeing it. He's got AI and QI, so he may get 2 turns. I don't think I can go out with DT. I'm looking around to see if I can. I have doubt. Okay, so if opponent plays AI, I play doubt and 8. That's useful. Do I have another spot for D and T? Because I can play doubt whether or not my opponent plays up here. Okay, he goes out. And the final score. 388 to my opponent, 406 to me. A winning margin of 18 points, so a very close win. Let's see what I missed. It was my opponent to go first. He played War, my rack, AUE. Okay, what did I play? Oh, okay, well I basically made the same play, but War does take an A as well as an E. Opponent's rack, he plays Vide. Now, this was a rack I struggled with. Veep, quite nice for 18, but it does kill the S hook on O, but that's not a disaster given that there's an S hook for War as well. So what did I do here? I played Eel for 15. Yeah. The rack leave is much better than EL, so I think Eel is fine. Opponent's rack, he plays Ref. Now, H4, Piney. That was my play. Horrible rack for my opponent. He plays Geo. And now I have an interesting rack, no vowels. And I play Prez. That looks fine. Opponent does have vowels. Plays Z. Now, no missed bingo here. Great. And curls. That was my play. And I still like that, although it felt slightly suboptimal at the time. Opponent's rack, he plays Icy. Kindar, A4. Ah, very nice. 52 points. I didn't do that. And Quip onto the P. I didn't see that, and I should have done. So I played Quare for 28, and that's, well, that's nothing like as good as the top two plays. Great spot by my opponent of Souties. I'm in trouble, but I play Ox for 52. And this is interesting because I never changed in this game. And this shows, I think, the principle of getting a good score, leaving a rubbish rack leave, and then just delaying the decision of changing until subsequent moves. And sometimes you just end up doing that and being able to score your way through pretty atrocious racks. So I play Ox. Opponent, wow, looks like he's close to a bingo. Doesn't have one. Plays sold. And here I have 4 Ns. But I play Annex for 24. That's better than Darn because it plays off 1 more N. Opponent plays Vey. And here we are, just the move after having 4 Ns. I'm sitting here with a bingo, with a ton of bingos. I eventually played Enranged. Oh, how interesting. Enranged I played off the E, but it did in fact play through the A of Quare. But there are some 7s which play 11I, Grend and Grind. Okay. Enduring at C1 through the U, ground N. Well, 1,000,001 bingos. Fortunately, I did find one of them, eventually. Opponent plays out, and at this point I'm 40 points in front. There's still a blank out there. There are bingo lanes on the board, so quite a tight position. I play fake for 42. Kef e5. Oh wow, making tick and feel. But I still like fake because I think this is a super hot J spot. Opponent plays bow. And now I have... Well, I play school. I have Kulths on my rack, which doesn't play, but Kulth does for 43 and would retain the S. And also, look at this, cloth available for 41, retaining the S. And retaining a vowel, more importantly. So I think school pretty poor, given those other options. Opponent has a choice of bingos, but a lot of those are 9-letter words, so pretty tricky to see. He bingos, but I'm 50 points ahead, or 43 points ahead. Bag is empty. I have no vowels. And I play get for 20, in an effort at limping across the line. Opponent's rack. He plays jimp, which made it quite tight at the end. I'm just 18 points behind, but his play of jimp provides me with the opportunity of playing brim, which does the job. Opponent has AIA and only one spot for it. Okay, so he plays AIA, and that's the end of the game. So pretty exciting stuff. We were very close, and there was an unseen blank towards the end, and I was able to put together a run of good enough plays to limp over the line. So I hope you enjoyed watching that, and I will see you next time.